Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Once again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Wendy Welts. I'm a licensed realtor in the state of Louisiana. I am brokered by Exp Realty, and Exp Realty is brokered in all 50 states in 23 countries and counting. So, what this means is you are never without a realtor, pretty much no matter where you want to buy. If I'm not licensed in a jurisdiction that you are interested in purchasing in, still feel free to reach out and ask me to connect you with a realtor. I will be more than happy to refer you to someone. An added benefit that you'll get of that is you will still get to keep in touch with me. I will check up with that realtor that I have referred and make sure everything is going smooth. If you need someone to give you a second opinion on something or a question you need to ask, or you just feel more comfortable talking to me about your transaction, feel free to reach out. I have no problem at all helping you reach your goals along the way. So, this stream is about investment properties made easy. I have worked with buyers, sellers, and investors, and I will say most of my clients in a transaction, they just seem like they get easier and easier. I'm very grateful for the clients that I've worked with more than one time and to know that they keep coming back to me, and I really appreciate their business. And I always say I wish more people would take the leap. I think real estate investing is something that sounds great. I mean, it's a dream for many people, and a lot of people are just afraid to take that first step. We are safe, I think, by nature, and we don't want to take any risk that involves losing money. But we all know with the recent challenges that we've had, unfortunately, in the last couple of years, that real estate has been able to provide a safety net for a lot of investors and for a lot of people who own real estate. People who lost jobs were very grateful that they still had rental incomes coming in and they had that cushion for their family in uncertain times. So, without me rambling on any further, I want to introduce to you Conrad Van of Nexa Mortgage. And I just want to first off thank him in advance for sharing his time this evening to talk to me, to talk to you, because this has been something I've wanted to do for a while. And I've mentioned it to a few people. And Conrad was that first broker that I had this conversation with. And he was like, all right, when you want to do it, let's make it happen. So I'm all for working with someone who is ready to make things happen for other people. So let me bring Conrad in. Hey,
Mortgage man, how y'all doing?
how you doing?
I'm good. I am good. Hey guys, my name is Conrad Van, federal license 1951251. Nexa Mortgage, rep. Thing I like about working with Nexa is I can do any type of loan, right? From conventional, FHA, VA, jumbo, construction, commercial. I lent on a restaurant last year, so I love the flexibility of being able to do any type of loan. I-10, bank statement, self-employed, you name it. So
That's
yes.
great. That's actually one of the reasons why I switched brokerages, because my first brokerage that I was with had a commercial division. And in order for you to sell commercial real estate, they wanted you, to I guess carry that commercial license or belong to commercial MLS. And for me, I had a vision of the type of service that I wanted to provide for my clients, and I wanted to be their go-to realtor, no matter what it was, whether it was residential, commercial. I had clients that I did push some commercial deals already, push some commercial deals through. No one asked me any questions, so I just went ahead and went for it.
All right, yeah. First, quick disclaimer. Content is intended to be used and must be used for informational and educational purposes only. It's very important you do your own analysis before making any investment and consider your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information you find within our live and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Programs and guidelines in the mortgage industry update frequently. So check with a loan officer licensed in your state for the most accurate and most up-to-date info. All right, now I'm ready to talk.
Got to get those disclosures out there. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us about this DSCR, this low documentation loan.
Okay, so DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio, DSCR. debt service coverage ratio. So in a traditional home loan, you need three things to qualify. You need a positive credit profile, durable income, and cash to close. They distracted me. Anyway, cash to close. So for the income piece, we can use the rents or the projected rents instead of your W-2s, your pay stubs, your tax returns. So in essence, we're not collecting, you don't even need a job necessarily for the DSCR. It's based off of the property cash flowing. That's it.
Which really makes sense because it's like, well, the property is the one that needs to prove it's profitable.
Correct.
So as long as the property proves it's profitable, then the lender is comfortable lending the money.
Correct.
Okay.
So going back, talking the positive credit profile, you're looking at a credit score about 660. Sometimes it can go lower, like 640, 620. You're going to need typically about 3 trade lines that are active that you're utilizing. And of course, no delinquencies, no foreclosures, things like that. So you want a positive credit profile, which is a score of about 660. The higher, the better. And then good trade lines, about at least 3. You also want to make sure you are not a first-time home buyer, but you own a home. The main reason is the lenders want to make sure there's no reverse occupancy fraud. So sometimes what happens is you can't get a home for some reason. So you try to get like an investment property and then like occupy it. So you gotta actually own real estate first for this type of loan.
So, right, that makes perfect sense. But is it actually required? Like,
is it required? Yeah, the lenders that I've spoken with, yes, you're going to be hard pressed to find one that'll kind of push it through. Most lenders, yes, you will need a primary residence first.
Okay.
And they know or they verify because one of the things they collect, government issued ID, bank statements, and then they're going to run your credit. They're going to be looking for a mortgage on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So credit score of a 660, durable income, which means bank statements, but you don't need the
durable income is based off of the property.
Okay.
The cash.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And is this any different from a residential loan? Can a seller contribute toward closing on this type of loan as well?
Yeah, so on this type of loan, most lenders, you're looking at a 2 or 3% concession that's allowed. So the seller can give up to 2 or 3% to help them.
Okay.
Down payment is typically going to be about 15, 20%, about 20%. I know there's like one lender that can do 15% down, but typically it's going to be about 20% down, 20% down payment.
And is this, if I was someone who was interested in this type of loan and I didn't have the 20%, am I welcome to bring in a business partner?
Yeah, so that's like the main thing. So what I guess people don't realize is billionaires and millionaires, they still collaborate, they still partner, they still team up, they still use each other's money. Us, as we're getting up there, we should as well. So yeah, you should be joint venturing and things like that. But yeah, you can bring in a business partner, because the thing is, if you say I'm going to do it by myself and it takes you 5 years to get that money to invest, what if you got a business partner, you're able to do that year 1? By the time year 5 came, you've already been seeing return on your money.
Right.
So you can do it yourself if you want to, but partnering up will just help you get to the finish line a lot faster.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that holds a lot of people back, is they think they really have to save. I don't have the money to do it now, and they're losing time. And I wish more people were comfortable with working with. I mean, I kind of feel like if you don't have, a good, I don't know, 2 to 3 people close to you that you could ask to go in business with you, you might need a new circle.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So one thing to note too is, our DSCR limited to certain properties. So are they limited to certain properties? Yes, most lenders, you're usually going to look at a 1 to 4 unit. Anything more than 4 unit would be commercial. So that's kind of like a different loan type there. But Another thing to note is that income is based off of the 1007. So when an appraiser goes out and appraises a property, they'll say the house is worth X. The 1007 is like an addendum to that. It says, and it can rent for Y. So the rents that you collect need to be more than what the mortgage payment is, which is most cases PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. There are some DSCR lenders that can go down to like a 0.7 ratio. So that means the rents cannot necessarily fully cover it almost, and you can still qualify. And
so there's no minimum on like the property. You have to make 25% more than the mortgage or 30%. It's just as long as it cash flows.
Yeah, as long as it cash flows or near cash flows. Because the thing is this, even if you're paying like a few $100s because it doesn't meet the, it doesn't debt service, what happens is you still have that equity build and you have that principal pay down. So over time, although let's say you're paying an extra $300 because it doesn't fully service, you're paying down the principal. And then what happens is you're also getting equity. So in 5 or 10 years, you might be sitting on tens of thousands of dollars that you can then pull out to do some renovations or buy another property with. So it's still a good play, even if it doesn't fully debt service. So another thing to note too, like with this loan, right, is you can do it in any state. So think about the fact that, because I'm here in California and I know you're in Louisiana, so getting an investment property here in Cali, 20% down, you're looking at maybe $100,000. But you can go in other markets, like there might be pockets in Louisiana where the house is only $100,000. So the 20% down is a lot lower, and you can get in. You can now start making money off of your money instead of waiting to get a property here or there. So DSCR is a great loan where you can kind of do it in different states. So don't just think you have to invest in your backyard, because we have a lot of technology with cameras and title and property management where you can still invest out of state and still be comfortable, still get your cash flow, and still not have to worry about anyone messing up your home or anything. I get a question. A lot of people try to invest without a lender or realtor. Why is it important to have professionals help you with the process? Money. I mean, you can go do it on your own and you can fail, and then you can potentially get sued, right? If you do something incorrectly. Like, Wendy, if you're buying a property and you do something wrong, aren't there like ramifications? And if you're in escrow and you don't meet certain requirements?
Yeah. Yes. So, it's tough because you do have a lot of investors that feel like they don't need a realtor to find a property. And there's a ton of people that can buy things off market. But if you have an issue, where do you go? Because we carry errors and omissions insurance, on our practice and our business. So there's disclosures that are attached to properties, and you have a history. So I think it's definitely the safe way to go. And I hate to say this, but I had a referral come through to me that a guy lost out on $10,000 because he supposedly gave a $10,000 deposit to an agent for a property.
Supposed to get an escrow.
That agent ghosted him. It wasn't a real agent.
Hold on, let me tell you guys this. Use escrow. So let me break down what escrow is, and I know we get off topic, but okay. So let's say you have somebody with a car and somebody with $30,000 to buy the car. If you give the car first, they could leave with the car and the money. Or if you give the money, they could leave with the money in the car. Escrow is a neutral third party where you don't have to worry about you go first, you go first, you go first. You can safely put the items in there. Escrow has instructions. When those instructions are met, both parties can get what's being traded or exchanged. So you don't have to worry about that.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. I just feel like whatever, no matter big or small, like I don't care
Mhm.
whether you are buying a $80,000 investment property or
Mhm.
$400,000 investment property, even if
Mhm.
it's $80,000. How
Yeah,
often are you making $80,000 purchases? Like you deserve to work with people that
yeah,
are going to treat your transaction as big as what it is to you. Like no
yeah. Or
matter
I'd say
how big
like
or small it may
it's like
be,
this.
and go
If
the legit way.
yeah, if if you're gonna insure your phone and insure your car, and your phone is $800, your car is a few, tens of thousands. This purchase is more important too, so I definitely recommend.
The whole home buying process, investment property buying process, it's a relationship that builds.
Mhm.
And I don't necessarily look at my transactions as transaction based. Like the relationship
Yeah.
doesn't usually stop there. You may need to call me 3 months later and say, hey, do you know where I could go purchase some backsplash? Or,
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on, I've had clients that say, you know, vinyl laminate or wood laminate, like what do you think I should do?
Yeah.
And people just want insight, because
Mhm.
when it comes to buying property, investment property, or just residential, it's
Mhm.
just so many questions that you can have, and it's so many
Yeah.
different little bits and pieces, and you could get burnt out,
Yeah.
and you could run something in your head over and over and over again and not know what to do, and you call the
Mhm.
person who does it every day, that
Mhm.
give you that
Yeah.
advice in 10-15 seconds, and have you thinking like, why didn't I think of that? So I definitely think
Mhm.
people should use this more and realize that it's the start of a relationship. It's not just transaction based, and when you close, that's it. Like, no, I've closed on properties years ago.
Yeah.
They could call me if they have a question about something and need some insights and advice, and I'm not expecting anything out of
Exactly.
return from that ongoing relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. We need more realtors like Wendy. Shoot. Y'all slacking. Get like
So
Wendy.
it's,
Yeah.
you have somebody good on your team, you keep them there,
Yeah.
build that relationship, and look at your investment journey as a journey. Like you might
Mhm.
purchase that one property, but I find a lot of people, they get addicted to it. They want another one, and a second and a third one, and think about it as a
I'm
retirement.
here. I'm here for another one. Another one. I'm here. I'm here.
I personally, like, I don't have investment property now, but I'm like, I can't wait to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going through that. I don't know where, like you said,
Yeah.
I didn't, years ago, I never would have thought, hey, I can invest anywhere, you
Mhm.
know, until maybe about a year ago. Um, and
We
so
can talk about
knowing
Ohio,
that,
Tennessee, North Carolina, or probably Alabama. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk.
yeah,
I
I mean,
think.
that's a whole nother show, but it's so true. Like you could live somewhere where cost of living is high, and you could think, I can't afford to invest here in,
Mhm.
California or Austin or New York, but there's
Yeah.
no rule to it. You don't have to invest where you live. You can invest somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. And
If
you
you
can
have
still
a good
invest where.
team side. So
Yeah.
you need a good team. You need a good realtor, a good honest person. That's what we're supposed to
Yeah.
be, honest, but you know,
Yeah.
and you need a good lender like Conrad, who has access to multiple different, pretty much, lenders and
Yeah.
loans and things of that nature to get you started.
Bunch of different programs and guidelines. About 180 plus. So I mean, from jumbo, reverse mortgage, I-10 construction. Like I said, I've lent on a restaurant before last year. So yeah, I can do it all. Yeah.
Okay, so just a little recap. We discussed the DSCR loan. DSCR loan
Mhm.
is a low documentation loan, which means your getting approved for the loan does not depend on your W-2 and if you can afford it. As long as the property is profitable and the property can prove that it's profitable based on the projected rents from a licensed appraiser, you can get approved for the loan. If you have reasonable credit, trade lines, and the money in the bank to get you to the closing table.
Money in the bank. Shut
Money in
what
the
you
bank.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. It's that easy. I mean, as far as like documentation, it's going to be government issued ID, bank statement for 2 months just to show you have the cash to close, but no W-2s, no tax returns. And even if you're like between jobs, your job information, your employment information, it does not matter. Because again, it's based off of the income that property produces. If it debt services, you're good to go. And then, like I said, some lenders, it can actually go down to 0.7. So even if you're not fully debt servicing, you're still good. And then some lenders
can consideration that equity builds.
Yeah. Some lenders can use Airbnb or AirDNA income, and they use like a 20% depreciation factor. So if it can rent for $10,000 on Airbnb or AirDNA, they'll use 10 or 20% minus that, so about 8,000. So okay. Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. I can't wait to help my next investor.
Good.
Thank you for those who tuned in. Greatly appreciated. Hopefully you learned something this evening. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to send myself or Conrad a message. I am licensed in Louisiana. I service the greater New Orleans area. But if you have any real estate needs in any other state, feel free to reach out. I will be more than happy to refer you to someone who is worthy of your business. All right. Well, thank y'all and have a good evening.
Peace.
Until next time.